My husband thought he could let his affair partner bully my daughter and I do nothing about it. I knew about my husband's affair for 2 years. I found the text on a Tuesday night while he was in the shower. Her name was Jenna. She taught 4th grade at my daughter's school. I read every message, the pet names, the promises, the jokes about how clueless I was. I didn't cry. I didn't confront him. I just put his phone back on the counter and finished loading the dishwasher. People ask why I stayed quiet. Simple. My daughter Julie was 9. She loved her school, her friends, her room with the purple walls. I wasn't going to blow up her world because her father couldn't keep his pants on. So I waited. I planned. I let him think he was getting away with it. I pretended not to know that the reason he was spending hours in the bathroom was because he wanted to text our daughter's teacher ugly naked pictures of himself. But there was one thing my husband never understood. He had nothing. Everything in our lives belonged to me. The house was bought with my inheritance from my grandmother. My name only. The car he drove was leased under my company. His landscaping business that he bragged about at parties exists because I gave him $80,000 in startup money 5 years ago, money he never paid back, money he never mentioned when he bragged to people. Over whine about how he was self-made. I handled all the bills. I managed all the accounts. He just showed up and spent my money. For 2 years straight. I watched him lie to my face and then kiss our daughter goodnight like he was father of the year. I could handle that. I built a wall around my heart because I wanted so badly for our daughter to have both parents in her life. But then Jenna crossed a line I couldn't ignore. Julie came home from school last month with red eyes and shaking hands. I tried to speak with her gently. Julie, what happened at school today? She didn't say anything, just looked at me with wide eyes that told me she didn't want to talk. So I decided to make her favorite dinner, dinosaur-shaped nuggets. Soon as she took a bite out of the first one, she started confessing. I watched as she struggled to get the words out. During recess, I accidentally bumped into a boy and knocked over his juice box. He looked really sad. So I tried to say sorry and I even offered for him to have my juice. But Jenna was on yard duty. She pulled Julie aside in front of everyone and said, "Your mother should have taught you manners, but I guess some people just weren't raised right." Then she made me stand against the wall for the rest of recess while the other kids watched. She burst into tears and I immediately went over to hold her. My 9-year-old daughter punished and humiliated by the woman sleeping with her father. That night I lay in bed next to my husband and felt something shift. 2 years of patience, 2 years of planning, 2 years of keeping my mouth shut for my daughter's sake. And this woman put her hands on my child's dignity to feel powerful. I was done being invisible. The next morning I called my lawyer, not for divorce yet, for asset protection. I confirmed all of my assets were secure, the house untouchable, the accounts separated, his business loan documented with the original terms he'd ignored. Then I called the school district to complain. I'd served on the parent advisory board for 3 years. I knew the superintendent personally. I asked for a private meeting. I brought documentation of Jenna's behavior toward Julie. I had dates, witnesses, other parents who'd noticed her attitude toward my daughter specifically. I never mentioned the affair. I didn't have to. Jenna was transferred to a school 40 minutes away. By the end of the week, no drama, no scandal, just consequences. That Friday, I had the locks changed while my husband was at work. I packed his clothes into boxes and left them on the porch. I moved $60,000 from our joint account into my personal account, money I deposited, money I'd earned. When he came home at 6, he stood on his own porch. Like a stranger, he called me 31 times that night. I answered on the 32nd call. "What is going on?" He shouted. "You changed the locks?" I laughed. "Don't worry about it. I just moved out of your way." "That's what you wanted." My husband pretended to sound confused and responded with, "I don't understand." I scoffed. "You've been building a life with someone else for 2 years. Now you can go live it." Silence. Then his voice changed. "Author, manipulative. Can we just talk about this?" I laughed. "There's nothing to talk about. The house is mine. Always was. I let you play pretend, but you touched my daughter through that woman." That was the line. He showed up the next day with Jenna in the passenger seat. I told them both to F off and my daughter gave them the finger.